All right, so this one's a nice one. We get to use our calculator to do the integration. And so we're integrating from 1.5 to 4.3 of x over ln of x dx to 3 decimal places. So let's go to our calculator. Let's clear all that out. So we're going to do math, and we're going to integrate. So function int, so 9. Now this one's nice. It shows you what you just have to type in, basically what was on our thing. So it was 1.5, arrow up. That was going to be 4.3. And now here, we could do two things. We could type it all in here. Or better yet, sometimes if we have a lot of complicated stuff, it's better to put it over here. So let's clear that out and let's put x divided by ln of x. So sometimes what happens is we might pull in, we might do a aggression analysis, maybe a quadratic. We pull it in here, it gives us the whole set of data in here, and it's in y1. And then what we can do is when we come back over here, we can say we're just going to integrate, and we can do alpha trace. We want to do y1, and then we don't have to type in all those decimal places. We can say just go to y1, use that thing, and then solve it. And then we just hit enter, and we get our value, 8.017 to 3 decimal places. And so that's all we have. So that's going to be equal to 8.017. Now, if you've got an older model calculator, what's going to happen when you hit 9? It's going to say fn int, and then you're going to take, and you're going to do the same thing. I'm going to say type this piece into y1. So then you say, okay, y1, comma. Then you have to hit x, because that's going to be the variable you're related to. And then you're going to hit the lower limit, and then you're going to type the upper limit, and then you're going to hit enter. And hopefully at that point, you're also going to get 8.017, or rounded to 3 decimal places, you should. Okay, so that's kind of the difference. Some of the calculators, you'll get it in a format that looks like this. Others, you'll have to type it in to look like that. Okay. All right, so let's go and keep going here. So here we have to recognize the definite integral. So this is using the average value. So the area A of a rectangle with width W and height H is given by area equals width times height. Now the height of a rectangle is given by the height equals A divided by W. So for the signed area under a continuous curve f of x on an interval A to B, the width of the region is B minus A. So, B minus A, that's our width here. And the signed area of the region is given by the integral a to b integral f of x dx. Now the height of the rectangle with the same width and area is then 1 over b minus a, the integral of b over a f of x dx. So that's what we're looking at here. And so the average value of a continuous function of f over that closed interval a to b is going to be 1 over b minus a, the integral of a to b of f of x dx. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. And so what we want to do is we want to do this calculation. So find the average value for 6t squared minus 2t over the interval minus 2 to 3. Well, what do we know? Well, we know that that's our a, that's our b. So if we're finding the average value, remember it's 1 over b minus a times the integral from a to b of our function, whatever it is, f of x dx. So we have what? 1 over, and then we have 3 minus 2 times the integral from minus 2 to 3. And then we have our function, which is 6t squared minus 2t dt. All right, well, that's 1 over what? 3 minus 2 is 1 over 5, so that's 1 over 5. And so then that's going to be times what? Well, this is going to give us a 6t to the third over 3 minus 2t squared over 2. And then we're going to evaluate that and then we're going to go from minus 2 to 3. All right, so let's simplify some of this because 3 will go in here twice. Those will both become 1. And so that'll help us a little bit. And so we have 1/5 times what? Well, now we'll have a 2 times 3 cubed minus 3 squared. Looks good anyway. And then we have, let's go ahead and put a bracket here so then we can put everything inside. And then we have what? We have now minus parenthesis 2 times, and now we're doing a minus 2 to the third, and then we have minus a minus 2, and that's going to be squared. And so then, again, we know how to plug all this in our calculator. If we put all that and use parentheses for brackets, then what we'll get is a nice, even, unlucky number, 13. Okay. So that's going to be our average value over that region for the 6t squared minus 2t. All right, let's pause there and we'll come back for one more.